disability has been a huge, huge barrier for me. It's really hard to get a job when you have to like present yourself a certain way. And
Sure.
it took me a long time to learn interview skills and how to look like a normal person.
Hey, fellow workers, I'm Kim Siever, and you are tuning in to episode 1 of season 5 of the Alberta Worker Podcast. The Alberta Worker Podcast is a proud member of the Labour Radio Network and the Harbinger Media Network. We are broadcasting from the territory of the Mississippi, and I am pleased to welcome our guest today, Sarah-Jane Kennett. Welcome, Sarah-Jane.
Hey, thanks.
So let's just go straight into it. Why don't you share your life story with us? Just talk about, where you grew up, what your family life was like, where you went to school, just stuff like that. And then share with us your personal labor history, first jobs, subsequent jobs, what you're doing now, and the career path you took to get there. And you can either intertwine those two or do them separately. The floor is yours.
So I'm SJ. I'm 41, lived in Edmonton my whole life, born and raised. Single mom of 4 beautiful boys. Pretty much lived here most of my life, 6 months in Calgary. Went to school in Mill Woods, did all the like normal stuff there. And then when I was 12 years old, it became obvious that I was pretty different from all the other kids in my age range. And so I went into foster care because my parents couldn't handle my disabilities. And so from there, that's kind of the trajectory I went on. I was a teen mom, so that's been most of my focus career-wise, but I do have an education in accounting and computer technologies. So I've dabbled in those, but they don't love them. I think of myself as a professional career hopper or
I know that
dabbler,
feeling
I
very
guess.
well.
Kind of just done a lot of everything for the last couple of decades and making my way through it and finding what I really love. And especially the last couple of years, I had just started a business when the pandemic started. And so it all just kind of fell apart. And I've been scrabbling to rebuild that since. Like I've done everything from telemarketing to bartending to working in kitchens. And
Cool. So how old's your oldest child?
he's 26.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. My
Yeah.
oldest is 27. So
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah. They're
cool.
26, 24, 22, and 17.
Oh, okay. So quite a bit older.
Yeah. Almost done. Like we're ever done, but
Sure.
as
Yeah. Yeah.
close as I'm going to get.
Right. Almost done having them at home.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Are you comfortable sharing with us, the disabilities that you dealt with when you were younger that led to you being put into foster care?
Yeah, for sure. So I have bipolar 2, depressive type, Tourette syndrome, ADHD, and I'm likely on the autism spectrum, but haven't been formally assessed. But all 4 of my kids are neurospicy too, and my dad was just diagnosed with autism a couple of years ago in his like late 60s. So,
Is your birth father?
yeah,
Okay. You still have a relationship with your birth parents?
well, sort of. It's a tricky situation because of, growing up in half at home and then half in care, and
Right.
that comes with a lot of baggage, I guess. Of
Of
like,
course.
I don't resent them anymore, but initially it was a lot because they thought they did, but they really didn't have the resources to cope
Sure.
with
As a
everything that
12-year-old, that's
comes
something
with.
hard for you to, wrap your head around.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it took a long time, but like I still have a pretty solid relationship with my mom and my siblings. My dad
Okay.
lives in Calgary, so it's a bit harder,
Your
but
mom's in Edmonton?
yeah,
Okay.
like 6 blocks away.
And how many siblings do you have?
I have 2 siblings,
Okay.
both younger than me. Like my parents had me, and then they got divorced, and my mom remarried and had my younger brother and sisters.
Oh, I see. Okay. Did she get remarried after you went into foster care or beforehand?
No, I was quite young. I think I was 4 when they got married, and he
Okay.
adopted me and raised me as my dad because my dad wasn't
Okay.
really
So
around
you were living
much.
with yeah, that happened to me as well. Well, I didn't technically get adopted, but my stepdad raised me since I was 4. And so you were living with your mom and your stepdad when you went into foster care.
Yeah,
Okay, I see.
yeah. I get it now because girls of my age range weren't typically diagnosed, and there was like a lot of like changing medications and behaviors that come with my
Right.
collection of diagnoses that nobody knew what to do with. So,
And were you diagnosed with any of those things at the time, or they came later on?
yes. So I got the Tourette's and ADHD diagnosis when I was 9.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like it was pretty obvious from right from the get-go, according to my mom, that something was a little different. And then when I was 17, I was hospitalized and then they reassessed and I got the bipolar diagnosis, or at that time, manic depression. But
Of course, you had bipolar prior to that. You just didn't have the
yeah,
diagnosis yet.
well, and they try not to diagnose under 16. It can be like a hormonal shift that kind of fades away later, but mine never has.
And I find it interesting that you were diagnosed so young with ADHD as a girl. The late 80s, early 90s?
Early 90s,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's quite remarkable.
Well, it was obvious. It was, I was a handful of a little girl.
Sure. Yeah. Interesting story. You know, having to deal with all of that at such a young age.
It made me who I am, so
Sure.
I
And
don't regret a minute of it.
were you in foster care right up until you were 18?
Sort of. I guess I went into care and I was living in a group home for quite a while. But like I said, I was a teen mom. So when I met
Oh,
my
right.
oldest son's father, I guess I went AWOL and moved in with him. The social worker just facilitated that in the end.
Okay.
And so I was independently living, but still under child welfare care.
Right. And so was a social worker able to assist you in getting the support you needed to be a mother at such a young age?
Oh, no, they were not. No, they tried to take him from me 10 minutes after he
Oh,
was born, and I
oh,
had to fight like heck to keep him.
yeah. Was the boy's father living on his own?
No, he lived with his mom.
Okay. So you
But
moved in with her?
yes, and then we
Okay.
moved out into our own place when Liam was 9 months old, and then
Oh,
shortly after I found out I was pregnant with number two. So
right. Okay. Do your oldest two have the same father?
yeah, and he just passed away two
Oh,
weeks ago. So
oh, really? Oh, that's the funeral you
yeah.
were talking about. And how long were you two like together, living together, trying to build this family before you separated?
5 years almost, four and a
Okay.
half years,
All right.
which for a 15-year-old is really kind of impressive.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, that's too bad that he passed away. Even though like you were technically together, it's still he played a big part in your life and
Yeah,
a part of who you
exactly.
became. So it's still a loss that you experience.
Yeah. And it's, yeah, keeping my boys together is has been a bit of a challenge, but we're getting there. Things are starting
Right.
to, the dust is settling a little. I'm sure
Right.
it'll be an ongoing process.
I appreciate you taking the time to come on the podcast, given all that's going on.
It's been an interesting couple of weeks.
And so your two younger boys, did they share a mother?
No, they both have separate
Okay.
fathers.
Do they have any sort of relationship with their fathers at the moment?
Yep.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
yeah. My youngest goes back and forth between here and Saskatchewan still.
Oh,
So that's interesting. But him and his dad are very close. And then the older one, he's 22 and doesn't have a relationship with either of us aside from eating all my groceries.
oh,
He's too busy living his life, being a free
sure.
man.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
got his first job and he's all
Okay. What's he
out
doing?
in the world. He's working security at the casino attached to the arena downtown,
Okay. Oh, interesting.
and has managed to move up to security supervisor in like a year and a bit. So
Wow.
he's
He's
going places, that one.
22, you said?
Yeah, he'll
That's
be
pretty
23 in a month. So
impressive.
yeah, smart guy, that one.
And so what was your first job that you remember having?
Telemarketing.
Oh, okay.
And it was probably the worst job I ever had. I only managed to last 2 weeks before I just could not take it.
Yeah, there's no way I could do it.
We were selling the Edmonton Journal, and so you'd think it's a product people want, but
Right.
I thought this will be easy. Like everybody wants the newspaper. It
Sure.
was like 2001, so
A lot of
we still did
rejection.
those things then. Yeah. Oh yeah. A lot, a lot. And like they would set you like a deadline, and I'm super socially awkward. So trying to sell people something without them being able to see my face, they get like kind of the ADHD hyperspeed pitch, and then they're like, absolutely not, click.
And you
So
took that
yeah.
rejection personally?
Some of it, yeah, some of it was
Yeah,
pretty nasty. But for the most part, it was they were just like, no, thank you, and that's fine.
sure.
It was just a whole lot, especially with like a young baby and trying to navigate school and daycare and everything else I had on the go, and I just could not cope. So
Yeah. Were you still in like high school when you had Liam?
yeah, I was in
Okay.
grade 10.
And were you able to finish high school?
I didn't formally graduate. I was short about 12 credits,
Okay.
but I did continue my education and then applied to college as an adult student.
And did you finish college diploma?
Yeah, two.
Oh,
Yep.
that was in accounting. Is that what you said earlier?
Yeah, so I got a bursary through child welfare to go to college. And so I took the accounting course, but I finished so early that I had to then take another program because it was like a bursary for the amount of time rather than per
Oh,
course. And so they were like, well, just pick another thing to do because you still have to come in for the next 4 months.
okay. And what
And
was
so
the
I
second
went and
one?
did computer networking.
Right. Okay. But you're not doing either of those things right now.
I I do taxes,
Oh,
so that kind of is helpful in that, but
sure.
just for
Okay.
a lot of random people that have unconventional careers that don't normally work well with H&R Block,
Okay. Interesting.
mostly strippers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
it's a lot of
interesting.
fun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's intriguing.
It's
And
yeah, it's been a really interesting shift on like working for H&R Block and then just doing my own thing.
sure. And I don't imagine that you took out an advertisement in the Edmonton Journal saying I'll do taxes for sex workers. So how did that come about?
I worked within that industry. I still do in like a burlesque capacity, but
Okay. All right.
I'm super proud of it. We've really like done some pretty awesome things and made some inroads on having them actually filing their taxes and getting the benefits they're entitled to, which
Sure.
makes me super happy. So it was kind of organic. Like I was still working for H&R Block and like had two jobs simultaneously, and so I was just like doing work on my laptop backstage at a show, and one of the girls was like, "Wait, you know how to do taxes?"
Oh,
And she said, I haven't filed mine in 8 years. And I was like, oh my God, bring me all your paperwork. We're getting you caught up. And then she referred me to a friend, and then
okay.
they referred
Cool.
me to another friend. And it's just kind of snowballed. And now I have, I think, 18 clients with like a few new people here or there. Or, yeah, it's been interesting.
Cool. That's pretty neat. What did you do after the 2 weeks in telemarketing? What was your next job?
I finished grade 10 and 11. I didn't really like, I kind of just gave up on the having a job too because it was too much. And then I started working in retail at Cotton Ginny.
Oh,
God, I
okay.
sound old. Yeah, I did retail for probably 4 or 5 years just because it was easy. And then I did go back to school and get all my education. And from there, I went and worked at Kids Cottage for about 2 years
Okay.
until my youngest was born. And that was great. That was a dream job. So
Okay.
it's like a local crisis nursery where parents who are overwhelmed or struggling can basically drop their kids off for, I think it's 48 or 72 hours so that
Oh,
they can deal with whatever crisis is happening in their life. And then the kids are safe and they can come and pick them up after.
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
really phenomenal organization.
And you really loved it, you said.
Yeah, I did. And my grandma worked there for two
Oh,
decades before I did as an accountant. So I was kind of like close to home.
were you doing accounting for them?
I was just doing reception, but
Oh, I see.
yeah.
Okay. Because that would be kind of interesting. Your grandma did accounting for them, and you come and doing accounting too.
No, they wanted like a trained CPA and I never designated. So
Oh, I see. Okay.
yeah.
And then after Kids Cottage?
Took a couple years off when my youngest was born. just because my husband at the time was working and like I didn't need to be working.
Okay.
So my focus was my enormous brood of humans.
Which is a lot of work in
And that
itself.
was, yeah, oh, truly, like those days, I would never go back to having that many small kids in one house.
When my mom met my stepdad, he had three small children. And my mom had me and my sister. I was four, she was two. She was a teen mom as well. All of a sudden, she's 21 years old and she has five children, five and under. It was
I was
intense.
close. It was close. I was 23 with four, 10 and under. So,
Yeah, there you go. Still lots.
yeah. So I just stayed home with them till the baby was 13 months old. And then my marriage exploded. So
Oh, okay.
that was not ideal. We wound up moving into a women's shelter and rebuilding the pieces again. And so I took a lot of like odd random jobs. I managed a Domino's pizza. I worked
Oh,
at Brewster's in the kitchen, like largely like food related because that's kind of my niche interest. But
quite a varied labor history.
mhm.
Cool. Anything else about your life story or labor history that you wanted to share with us?
Well, currently I'm trying to rebuild my cookie business.
Oh,
That's an interesting process, but slow going, just with everything going on in my personal life. It's been
sure.
a lot.
How long ago did you
Um,
start that?
I started it in 2018
Okay.
and was doing really, really well just right up until the pandemic. And then we had to move house
Oh,
and everything shut down. So now
right.
I don't have the same size kitchen I did. Like it's harder to just kind of make it all happen.
Yeah.
But I've been using my mom's kitchen for large orders and like we're just making it work. We're plugging away and like I'm
Yeah.
on ish, so I don't have to be quite so forceful on myself to get out there and make money. I know like my rent is covered if nothing happens this month,
Right.
which is a big relief.
And your mom helps with the baking and stuff too, or you just use your kitchen?
No, no. My mom is nobody should let her in a kitchen. I love her, but she doesn't cook. She's good at taste testing. I'll give her that.
Oh,
She,
good. Good. She has a good palate. She just can't
yeah,
duplicate it herself.
yeah.
So, one question that I always ask my guests is how has your intersections of marginalization ever influenced your experiences as a worker? And that could be, how has things like ethnicity or sexuality or gender or abilities, that sort of thing, ever influenced how people have interacted with you in the workplace, whether it's fellow workers or bosses or customers or anything like that?
So I guess I'm kind of intersectional, being a mixed race woman with multiple disabilities, but I'm white enough presenting that thankfully race has never played into it. Luckily, because the rest of my family don't have that advantage, and
Oh,
that's horrible to watch. But like disability has been a huge, huge barrier for me. It's really hard to get a job when you have to like present yourself a certain way. And
sure.
it took me a long time to learn interview skills and how to look like a normal person in those settings. But like I've been successful. Like I've never really struggled to find a job when I've been looking. It's just not always the job I maybe wanted, just the job that was available. But I've done a ton of cool stuff because of it. Like I worked for the Nut Man for a few years,
Oh,
setting
okay.
up tables in hospitals to sell candy, like
Right.
random, but it was good. I liked it.
Cool.
Customers weren't the best, but like it's people having some of the worst days of their lives if they're at the hospital. So
Of
you got to
course.
give
Of
them a lot of
course.
grace.
Yeah,
It's been a challenge, but we manage.
sure. You've struggled being able to find work, particularly with having your disabilities. But what about when you
Mhm.
have found work? Have your disabilities or any other, part of your identity ever come up and influence how people interact with you?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've lost jobs
Mm.
because of my symptoms, or because it has at points in my life made me pretty unreliable. When the depressive episode hits, it's like
Right.
I'm useless for 3 to 5 business days. Sorry, but like I don't know what you want me to do. And so that's been a bit of a struggle, especially like more corporate jobs in like accounting. That's been my
Mm.
downfall because you're supposed to be there 9 to 5 Monday. And that's just not a reality when
Yeah.
you're pretty unwell and have a bunch of neurospicy people relying on you. And that's been an adventure.
Mm.
Now that I've kind of leaned into my own, like, I'm just going to dabble in a whole bunch of random side hustles, that's been the best fit.
Over the last few years, maybe like the last 3 years or so, I've tried to look for work. I mean, I have some disabilities as well, but I'm also in my 50s. And so I think that honestly plays a lot into it. But I haven't been able to get an interview, not a single interview that entire time. I don't think I've had an interview in like 15 years, a job interview. And so, yeah, I kind of do that too. I just dabble. I do the Alberta
Yeah.
Worker. Before the pandemic, I was doing social media management. Everybody shut down and I lost all my clients. And so then I switched to doing what's now the Alberta Worker. But I have a couple of clients where I still do some of that work for. So I do the Alberta Worker, I do that. And then I also do cookie making as well.
Yeah, I think I've seen your bread on
Okay, yeah.
the Bird app.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rainbow House cookies. So I do
Yes.
basically
Have
any
seen
type
that.
of baking. I've done cookies, I've done breads and cinnamon buns, pizza buns. Someone asked me, maybe about a year ago if I make pizza buns. And I said, well, I've never made pizza
Mm,
buns, but I'll give it a shot. So I tried
why
and
not?
they became really popular all of a sudden. I got so many people ordering pizza buns.
That's amazing. I
Yeah, it's
mostly
pretty
do
cool.
like French macarons.
Oh,
Those
wow.
are like my best seller. I wish people wanted other stuff. Like I have a stack of cookbooks that I just want to like test and
Oh,
play with.
sure.
And
Yeah, people just ask me random things if I make this. I said, sure, I'll make it. And so I don't really have a menu or anything. I don't specialize in anything particular. I'll have people just ask me to make random stuff. I had somebody ask me once if I would make pistachio, cranberry, and chocolate chip cookies. It's like, wow, that's an interesting combination. I tried it. They were so good.
yeah,
Wow, that's a
that sounds
really good combination.
incredible.
Yeah, it was really yummy. I really like
Anything pistachio, I'm sold.
that. Okay, great. Any final thoughts for our listeners?
Just be kind to people. Everybody's just doing what they're doing. We all need to stop with the like constant, you're left, you're right,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's so much of that. I used to be really, really bad at that. And that's something over the years I've been trying to get better at. I don't know if I'm there yet, but I'm trying to catch myself and just try to do a better job of just treating people with more respect.
Even like just the smallest ounce of kindness makes everybody's day just a little
Sure.
bit better.
Yeah. And if everybody did, we'd have a much nicer society right now, I think.
Yeah,
Totally.
exactly. That's just my whole goal. Just make people smile.
Yeah. Well, that's an awesome goal, I think. If people are interested in following you and your work, is there somewhere they could go to do that?
My website is currently doing something funny. So until that's resolved, I don't know. But I'm on Twitter at SJ Kennett.
Okay.
Whenever the website decides to stop being a pain, it will be linked in my bio there. So
Okay, cool. And I'll just make sure that's in the description of the podcast
cool.
as well. Great. Awesome. If
Awesome.
people are interested in following the Alberta Worker, you can find us on most of the major social media platforms. You can visit our website at albertaworker.ca. And while you're there, might as well sign up for our newsletter. There are daily, weekly, and monthly subscription options. If you like this podcast, please rate it and leave a review. It helps other listeners find it in their podcast app. If you appreciate the Alberta Worker and the work that we're doing in independent labor journalism, please visit albertaworker.ca/support and send a few dollars our way. If you want to be a guest on the Alberta Worker podcast, you can email me at podcast@albertaworker.ca or find me on social media anywhere and drop me a DM. Thank you so much, SJ, for visiting with us today. Thank you to all the listeners for tuning in. And as always, solidarity.